Starting any new business, any new venture, and with me starting the studio, at first, very exciting. Got all the equipment in, the partitioning, vocal booth is set up, control room is set up, acoustic treatment, everything. And it's very exciting until after you've done all your advertising and putting the word out that you started your own studio, the very first artist actually walks through the door. And then all that excitement can turn into anxiety. It can be very daunting because now you have to have your game face on. Now you have to put in your A game. You have to have your A game put on because you have to please the artist. You have to come up with a product or have the product that they're going to be happy with. Because in this industry, sound engineering, music, production, word of mouth referrals are very important. If you have a great review from your very first artist that comes through the door, then it just starts you off positively when you head into the next artist and the next artist, and within that you grow with confidence. Now, even though I've had years of experience with songwriting, making beats, composing music, and all of that, now that I've actually started my own studio, it's almost like I needed to start, from scratch, from square one. So the first artist that came to EB Inglis Music Studios was an artist by the name of Miss Celaneous. And she came with a beat that was already made. What I needed to do was record vocals, then obviously mix it afterwards and have it mastered so that she could have her product. And with it being the first artist to come through the door, I needed to make sure that whatever I did in this studio, was going to be 150% spot on. So even though she was the first artist to record at EB Inglis Music Studios, and I was nervous about that first artist, I needed to put all those feelings at bay, because one of the main things of being a producer is instilling confidence in the artist when they record. They have to feel comfortable with you when they record so that they can give their best performance. If you're nervous, if you're anxious, they're going to feel that energy, and then they're not going to give their best performance when they record. So what I needed to do was, before the studio session, the morning, I would center myself, calm myself down, tell myself, you've got this. You've done this before. Even though it wasn't done in your own studio, you have done this before. You have worked with artists before. You have produced before. So you can do this. You need to stay calm. You need to stay focused. And I took that energy with me into the studio. When she arrived, I also noticed that, because it was her first time working with me, there was also nerves on her side, because she also wanted to perform to the best of her ability. So with me being calm, with me being confident, and with me instilling that confidence in her, saying that I like her as an artist, I like the stuff that she's done, I like her energy, she felt more comfortable. She was able to then go into the booth and give her best performance. With it being the first project to come through EB Inglis Music, it didn't come without its challenges and its hurdles. At first I thought it was going to be something straightforward, but with everything in life, there's going to be some obstacles that's going to come about. In this case, I've been used to making the beats, recording, then mixing it down, and then having it mastered. So basically from the get-go, I was in control of everything. In this project, we were recording to a beat that somebody else had produced. So that also comes with its own challenges, because now when I mix personally, I don't just use my technical know-how and ability. I like to mix creatively. I like to make it musical, because I'm also a creative person. I'm also a producer and an artist myself. So that's how I like to mix songs. But at the same time, you have to find that balance between your creative input in a mix and when you produce, and having the beat maker or the producer of the beat, of the music, also be happy with what you've done. So what had happened with Miss Celaneous project is that she came with the song, we recorded all the vocals, which was great, but now when it came to mix down, I needed what's called stems or separates. It's all the individual elements that's needed in order to mix the song, because I had all the vocals and I need the drums separately, I need all the different instruments that we used, I need all of that separately in order to have a good mix done. So what had happened in this case, because the producer was in Joburg and we in Cape Town, and the producer was going through some things at the time, that it was very difficult to get the separates. So we had to go through the arduous task of actually recreating the instrumental for the song. So in the end, the song was a success. Miss Celaneous gave a great performance. We managed to do everything that we needed to do with regards to the music. I delivered a good mix, it was mastered well, and everyone was happy. So my initial anxieties of the first time artist to come through EB Inglis music was unfounded. It was just my own insecurities that I needed to keep at bay, which I did, and with that I managed to instill confidence in her as the artist, which she had already, but just because it was her first time working with me, it was still important for me to instill that confidence in her, which she relayed in the performance. So very grateful that everything worked out and everything fell into place, and that's how we ended up with Miss Celaneous #1.
Ooh, it's the Inglisman.
Your haters ain't ready for me. I'm ready to be #1. Your players ain't ready for me. I'm ready to be #1. No one remembers #2. Cause I might as well lose. You better get ready for me.
Yeah.
I'm ready to be #1.
Are you ready? I don't think so. They underestimate this chick with the sick flow. They look at me like I'm a foot on their big toe. Try to move fast without me, they'll reach feet slow. I don't sink low. All these chickens on your dick, but I don't beef though. I am the chief ho. I creep low, you will never know I'm doing a row. I got your best friend pulling down my pantyhose, slacking dizzy like high-low. I'm like chocolate Milo, patience thin like Philo. I'm still waiting, what kind of?
Your haters ain't ready for me. I'm ready to be #1. Your players ain't ready for me. I'm ready to be #1. No one remembers #2. Cause I might as well lose. You better get ready for me. I'm ready to be #1.
Yeah, I'm about to cut this up. Grit harder, about to rough this up.